Hi Capricorn, welcome to Sugar Free. This is your weekly tarot for the week commencing Monday 15th of October 2018. Hope you're well wherever you are. This is my second go at your reading because I did you a reading but I was hungry and I rushed it. I'm a Taurian and when I get low on calories it all tends to go to shit a little bit. So I thought I'd do you another one. So just finish shuffling this pack. One last cut. Okay, Capricorn, let's go. How funny. That was the last card that came out in your previous reading. Judgment in the reverse. Hierophant in the upright. Death in the upright. Well, you know what? It's not a million miles away from what we got last time. But I have obviously shuffled. Okay. Just having a little stare at these. This will probably go slowly now because I'm digesting my food because I'm a Taurian. It's all about the food. Right, well look, the key to power here is death in the upright, engaging with transformation. And it's a natural and compassionate transformation. It's something clearly coming to an end. But it might not actually be what you want. But this is the key to power. This is the energy to engage with. Sitting in the middle of the reading, acting as the shadow or the underbelly, we have the Hierophant. So this is one's inner sense of right and wrong, and how that inner sense of spiritual rectitude manifests itself in our outward identity and behaviour. The purely inner bit is the High Priestess, okay, but this is the High Priest, the Hierophant. So this is about how all that stuff inside us, that moral code inside us, is expressed in a group setting, is expressed to those outside of us. It's in many ways it's the kind of the politicization of spirituality. Okay, it's structuring it in a way that it can be expressed in the outer world. The energy that we're coming in with is judgment in the reverse. So there's a disengagement, a lack of engagement, a non-engagement with going over stuff and looking again at stuff, which is great in its own way. I mean, you know, if judgment was in the upright and was in the middle of the reading, it would be about sort of holding ourselves down with this endless re-examination of things, but we're coming in with a non-re-examination of things. And I do wonder whether in the context of the previous reading, I think, as I say, this was the key to power, and we had two cards here that were really about, yeah, it was the World in the upright here, and oh goodness me, I can't remember what was here. I think it was Chariot in the reverse here. So there was this sense of sort of lack of forward motion, lack of fruition, lack of mojo, and sort of feeling that that was really kind of the way it is, the way it always has been, and the way it always will be. And the key to power was to not keep going over it and not see it as a global state. So I think, you know, basically it's the same message. The energy to engage with here is allowing the new to come in, even if we don't want it, or even if we're not kind of minded to engage with it. It's coming by the looks of things, and we can only hold ourselves down by, I would say, sort of justifying to ourselves an unwillingness to look at what has been in the past. So it is a sort of a little bit on its head from before, but it's mainly here. As I say, the key to power here is pretty much the same, is to allow whatever is coming after death has done its work here, allowing that to come in and embracing it. And I would just like to draw your attention to the one thing that is left outside of the Grim Reaper's side here. You see everything in there. We see weapons, we see books, we see jewels, we see, you know, so it's power, knowledge, wealth, all of it, and tools as well, tools of the trade. The one thing that escapes the side is the artist's palette, signifying creativity. So there really is an opportunity here to become creative with the new. And as I say, we can only hold ourselves down by kind of systematizing and expressing as kind of the way it is, this non-engagement with a new way of looking at things through re-examination of the past. So we don't want to engage with that, or we choose not to engage with that, or for whatever reason we're just not looking at that. Fine, but you know, fine. Don't deal with it. Don't go there. Don't sit and pick over the bones of everything. That's useful, but we're holding ourselves back in that by kind of making that the way it is and broadcasting that you know we're not going there. There's a great contradiction here, because we're sort of going, oh no, I'm not picking over the past. I'm kind of willing to engage with the new. I want to engage with the new. However, it's labouring the point, I would say, Capricorn, labouring the point, and by doing that we keep ourselves in this energy. And the way to break that stalemate and to stop giving this kind of pontificational energy, I would say, to this non-breaking of new ground, is to engage with whatever presents itself to us as new, and engaging with it in a creative way. Right, let's get a bit of clarification on this Judgment in the reverse. Okay, King of Wands. Well, this is about how we, the energy of this Judgment in the reverse here, and this non-breaking of new ground, is to do with how we manifest our projects and our energy and our ambition in the outside world. And you know, it's not a million miles away from the energy of the Hierophant here. So I would think this is to do with work, Capricorn. This is to do with new projects in work, and we kind of, it seems to me we've worked out for ourselves here with the Hierophant sitting in the middle of the reading. We've worked out for ourselves a really kind of cool way, and a really kind of neat and sort of watertight way of explaining why we are in the position that we are in with our working life, with our career. So that I think it's working life and career that is really imbued with this lack of breaking new ground here. Wow, okay. Two of Swords to clarify the Hierophant here. Well, I do think there's a push and a pull, and a juxtaposition, and a kind of sense of whichever way you go, you stand to lose something. And you know, perhaps that's the case, but I do wonder whether what's going on here with the Hierophant in the upright clarified by the Two of Swords, acting as the underbelly to this energy here of Judgment in the reverse and the King of Wands, is a kind of outward expression of a set of sort of justifications, I would say, for why we are in the position that we are in. But really what's going on the inside is a fear of breaking into the new, and a sense that we don't know whether it's better or safer to hold on to what we know. Because by holding on to what we know, okay, we think we're on, to a certain extent, it's sort of better the devil you know, but we also then drain the energy out of looking in new directions. But if we put the energy into looking in new directions, we might actually be, we fear we might actually be throwing away ground that we have already gained. But what is the point in gaining ground if we're not prepared to break new ground? Okay, Judgment in the reverse here. There's a push and a pull between the old and the new here to do with work. Okay, let's get a little bit more on this, because when I see Death in the upright here, especially as the key to power, I'm fascinated by what's underneath it. So let's have a look. Right, yeah. Oh, new territory, Capricorn. New territory, and doing it quietly, I would say. Perhaps this is a week to, Six of Swords in the upright. Six of Swords in the upright. Perhaps this is a week, Capricorn, for quiet little bits of research, quietly making some new contacts, looking in new directions, and really allowing your imagination here in Death in the upright, with that artist palette having escaped the side. Really allow your imagination to take you down a few roads. You're not losing anything just by thinking about something new. And I think with the Six of Swords here clarifying this Death in the upright, there might actually be stuff on the other side of this water, stuff on the far shore, that if we allow ourselves to engage with it, even just in a thinking way, just not actually doing anything, not burning any bridges, but there might be stuff on the other side of this shore that could be really, really fertile new ground to break and to conquer. Because as I say, with Judgment in the reverse here, what is the point of holding on to territory we have already conquered if it's just going to sit there unfertile and we're not going to dig down into it and see what we can find and see what we can build and see what we can grow? Right, let's get one from Wild Kuan Yin. Okay, there it is. Ooh, right. Nice. We get Sisters of the Spring Swallow. Good fortune granted. And what we see here are the two girls, and up the top there you can just see the Swallow of Spring. Now, what is fascinating about this card is that it is utterly counterintuitive, because it's spring. It's the spring swallow. However, what they are carrying is a basket full of mature fruit and vegetables. Now, how can that happen in the spring? There's magical here. There's magic. This is magical. It really, really is, because it's something coming in for us earlier than we could ever possibly have expected it. And I just also want to show you the background here. Now, there's not a lot growing back there. It's rocky, it's barren, and yet we have marrows and tomatoes and cabbages and corn and cucumbers and all aubergines and all sorts of wonderful things. What magical land has this food been grown in that it be mature and ready to eat in the spring? So there's a time loop at work here, and keep in mind all you like, for to the extent that it makes you feel comfortable, Capricorn, that the ground you've already gained and already conquered. Keep that in mind. But what this is telling me is that something really, really exciting and something imbued with good fortune can quickly and before time come from allowing a creative, a quiet, creative little exploration to see what's on the other side of the shore. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. If you would like a private reading, the email address is in the description box below. Have a wonderful week, Capricorn. Cheers, bye-bye.